starting off, this was such a fun movie, and both of the characters were out of the box. So I want to start with you, Kelly. What is it like sort of playing a character outside of the box and still, also being an executive producer?
Yeah, I think we both were excited that this was kind of role play was a little bit of a role reversal type of film. We both were doing things that we don't normally do, especially jobs that David and I both normally take. So this was exciting to kind of play the badass slash mom who was taking control and doing all these crazy things. And I think at the very beginning of this, David and I spoke a lot that we believe the message in this film we believe was about the marriage and the relationship and okay, this is a big mess up and how do we get through this and we love each other and we're gonna figure this out. So I loved that messaging and I also loved that I got to do some of the the stunts and the fight sequences. That was a really cool moment.
So, David, for you, Dave, to your point, also outside of the box, but there's a level of trust that has to develop at some point in this where he has to make a decision. So, can you walk me a little bit through his mind state, or even what you would do? Is there a level that you could reach to offer that much trust to a person?
I think when we meet them at the beginning of the movie, they're 7 years into this marriage and they clearly love each other. They love their kids, but things have gotten a little stale and they're trying to shake things up a little bit. And then, of course, this massive secret that his wife has been harboring comes into the equation. But I think you see in the beginning of the film that there's enough love there, there's enough dedication to each other that it's understandable why he makes the decision to do everything he can to even just get to the point where they can have a conversation about the craziness that's going on. And I think, this film is partly about saving his marriage, but also just getting to the point where they can go, what's going on? Which I think every marriage hits that moment at some point or another.
So for you, Kaylee, the stunts, as you mentioned, are out of this world, kind of. So what was the process like in working up to get ready for that?
Yeah, it was awesome. I was there a few weeks early and I had an amazing stunt double. And I got to do pretty much everything. I knew all the choreography. A lot of those fight sequences were actually much longer. We ended up cutting them down. So it was a lot of repetitive rehearsal and figuring out how to maneuver like people's limbs. And it was a very new experience for me. Also, side note, I was pregnant the whole time and nobody knew. So I was also like, okay, like I better my stunt double knew, so she was taking over a lot of the brunt of it. But the falling into the glass table was an accident. And so later, when we wrapped, I told my stunt coordinator the day that they were like, okay, Kaylee, that's a wrap. I walked over to hug him. I'm like, thank you so much for everything. By the way, I'm pregnant. I'm 3 months pregnant. He was like, the look on his face, he was so angry at me. And so he was,
That was you falling into the glass table?
that was me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was me. Now that was a stunt table, so the glass no, that was actually accidental. But I was able to get back up and keep going. It really worked. And so
Whoa.
yeah, so that one was me. Not flying through the
No,
glass,
no,
the backwards table.
but
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, but that was an accident that ended up, it was a happy accident. But I didn't want to tell anyone I was pregnant because they would have never allowed me to do anything. You know how this stuff is. So I'm glad I kept it to myself.
Well, real life superhero in that. Congratulations. Thank you so much.